Hello traders, welcome to today's video. It is Monday, the 2nd of October, the start of a new month, the start of a new quarter, and Bitcoin is flying so far today. So a lot to cover. I'm going to try and gloss over this as quickly as possible to give you the important information. And then, of course, I will be doing live streams. I'll be doing further updates as and when throughout the week. But basically, yeah, to start off here, a really good move up from Bitcoin after we had that test of basically the POC of everything last week. Okay, this point of control, this 26K level is the point of control of the year. It is the point of control of our bigger range, and it is the point of control of this local range that we've been in for the last, well, since basically midway through August, the last 6 weeks then. So yeah, a decent move up overall. Also remember that the legacy markets, I pretty much called the bottom on those last week, and that is subsequently how we got that reversal basically across the board here as we come into the start of a new month. So first of all, we have taken the highs of the range. Okay, and the next level that I have above me is basically just marking the point in which we broke down to drop into this range originally. So if we go onto the hourly time frame, okay, we can see over here we had this quick impulse up and then everything collapsed from that point onwards. So this is where I have my another basically alert level set here at 28,500. Now, there are a few levels above here and things that I need to be aware of. As of yet, I'm not really considering this, or I think this second part of this move has been a bit of a local short squeeze, and I think we may have seen a local top and we're going to be dropping back into a bit of a range here. However, this is quite different to a lot of the moves that we've seen recently, okay? Like these moves here, this move up, fully retraced, this move down, fully retraced, even these smaller ones going on. They were mainly perps driven, whereas the thing with this one is there was a lot of spot buying over the weekend. You can see this just slow, just price moving up, price moving up, price moving up, price moving up. The TWAP effect. By that, I mean like trading, well, time weighted average price. So you basically have people that are just consistently bidding this at certain points of time, and it's very indicative of what you see as you start to go into, well, basically a more legitimate breakout than what we've seen previously, okay? So we've had that was mainly going on the spot market. The perpetuals were fairly flat. And if we do just pop over here onto EXO, we can kind of see that, okay? We can kind of see over here, delta relatively flat, open interest relatively flat. We did get that initial just drop in open interest as any shorts that were caught within this whole range were stopped out. But it wasn't until like the latter stages of this where we really started to have more significant shorts entering. So the move itself, slightly different to what we have seen in the past. Not a short squeeze. Like you can see here, like delta here is slightly down, but open interest fairly flat. And it was only subsequent to that that we really started to get that open interest starting to rise, and then the highs being taken and shorts being squeezed out a couple more times. So I do think that this is, for now, fairly healthy. Of course, what we want to see at this stage is we don't want to be retracing this. We want to see that support is holding. For now, I would say that the VWAP is important. And if we are to come down to those single prints around about that 27,800, then I would absolutely would want to see that hold, like a sweep of local lows, drop into the top of these single prints here where we do see significant volume on the chart. And then for that to hold and to get the continuation higher, okay? So if we bring things back over onto TradingView, the levels to be aware of, okay, we'll drop it down onto here, like this basically meaning any sweep of this, if this doesn't just go, and I think this would be a little bit overcrowded, I'm not convinced that we're going to get there in the first place, but a sweep of these lows, you would want to see that hold and then continuation higher, okay, which is why I've got an alert down here. Alternatively, okay, you're looking for possible rejection from these highs, then you have that typical like 3 drives tapping into resistance, falling wedge, you drop down here, that type of thing. And then if this does really start to push, okay, I've basically been bullish since since this low. But as we were holding that back test, the fact that we saw the legacy markets pulling back into really good support, filling significant gaps on the chart, filling imbalances, and getting a decent bounce from that, I was of the mindset that this could be a pretty big reversal basically at this stage. And if that is to happen, then it has to be these highs that we're looking at. Okay, it has to be these ones over here. I do think at some stage these are going to get taken, and we are going to see that move towards 30,500. Okay, so if this can continue, obviously we're probably going to form a range. We might have another move up, we might drop around, we might do more of this kind of stuff. But if this is legit and we don't go ping ping and run it the whole way back down, which at this stage we probably would, I mean, by the whole way back down, I mean 23K if this at this stage fails, then I think a move up to 30,500 is more likely. So, all right, we're looking at one of two situations here. Support holds, and we find that this starts a trending move to take us to 30,500, to take out these highs. Then I would be looking for swing short positions. Okay, I still think that this will get retraced at some point, and then we can be looking back down here again for that like end of year capitulation type of thing. Okay, we're not looking at massive bull market yet. Or if this does fail, okay, I would see that as basically at this stage being a failed breakout. This was very early within the range, right? This was very early, but at this stage, you should have held enough support 6 weeks within a range to basically confirm that as support. So any test back into even the top of this should see continuation. If it doesn't, and we do get caught back below into those single prints, I would expect a full reversal at that stage. So yeah, we've got to take it as that. Be aware that I think start of a bigger move here. It is the start of a month, so that could mean that, I mean, you're basically just searching for liquidity, okay? Start of a new quarter, start of a new month, start of the last quarter of the year. We're looking for that liquidity, okay? This being the, well, by the next quarter of next year, we're going to be approaching the halving. There's going to be a big narrative there. There are whispers of the ETF being maybe announced this month. Mike Novogratz, if anyone knows who that is, seems to be fairly confident that his is going to be approved this month, but I still think early next year is probably the most likely. I'm just rambling on now. I don't think there's too much more to add. Another thing just to be aware of is the monthly level up here. Okay, so that's something else. Okay, you have monthly to monthly if we're looking at basically a test of the previous month, or we do have another monthly level up here, which will be coinciding with the previous quarter. Then those are some other levels to look at. But I think on that note, I'm going to wrap it up there. I will be periodically updating throughout the week. If anyone is interested in knowing more about the community and more about ourselves, then please do go visit tauruscrypto.com. Oh, another thing as I've got the website up, the other thing that doesn't really show that this is, look, it's spot leading at the moment and the CME chart is leading at the moment. We've got all this negative funding. So for me, this is why I still think it's a little bit early to be jumping into short positions straight away. The other thing that I did want to show quickly is going back over onto here, we can see there's a massive premium on the CME price right now. That's actually cooled off a little bit actually this morning. It's cooled back down, but it was oh no, it's still pretty high. So we're running at like a $350, $450 premium on the CME price. Not so much indicative of this being just a bit of a fake move, but this looks a little bit more like it would get continuation, and as we've seen it has had continuation. Legacy markets this morning have filled a gap from the end of last week. Okay, so the ES and on the NQ here, we filled this gap. So once again, looking at this as a back test, we could be looking at higher. I do think that this is a pretty decent low that we've put in down here. And yeah, anything else to add? Not really. Follow me on Twitter, like and subscribe, do all of those things. Come and join the crew if you feel like you want to, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye-bye.